Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our very own night of glitz, glamour, and just the right touch of chaos. Tonight, we come together not only to celebrate excellence and honor creativity, but also to enjoy a tradition as timeless as it is entertaining, the handing out of trophies that, let's be honest, will one day become very fancy bookshelf decorations or perhaps even a surprisingly sturdy paperweight. But every award tonight, from the truly prestigious to the hilariously unexpected, carries a story worth remembering. It's about recognizing dedication, talent, and those unforgettable moments that deserve the spotlight. So whether you're here for the drama, the laughter, or the glory, you're in exactly the right place. So, sit back, relax, grab your popcorn, or any drink of your choice, and prepare for a night that promises both elegance and entertainment. This is a celebration you won't forget. But before all of that, let's see some of the best moments of CF Capone this year. Wow, what an incredible display of talent we just witnessed in that highlight reel. Every clip was a reminder of the passion, the hard work, and the unforgettable moments that defined CF Capone's season. From jaw-dropping plays to those heart-stopping finishes, it truly showcased the remarkable skill and dedication of this phenomenal team. And let's be honest, it wasn't just about winning games. It was about the energy, the spirit, and the way these players inspired everyone who watched them. I think we can all agree, CF Capone gave us a season to remember. But here's the best part. Tonight, we're not just looking back. Tonight, we're celebrating every single one of those moments. With no time to waste, here are your awards for tonight. Brick Wall Award. This award is for the player who has not only put their body on the line for CF Capone this season, but has shown a lot of leadership on the pitch with how they controlled the back line. A pillar of the club and will be a part of CF Capone for years to come.
Yeah, the Brick Wall Award for me was a no-brainer, right? We have a center half who I consider one of the top I've ever played with. And that it can always be debated or whatever, but this is a Scottishman. Scottishman? Scottishman. Scotsman? Scotsman. Anyway, here's the thing. He wears a kilt. Or maybe he doesn't. I don't know, but he will shove a haggis up your ass, all right? And his name is Techno. And this motherfucker is a wall. He's a beast. He's a big boy. And he's got attitude. I like it. Sometimes he'll eat a motherfucker, and you need that. You need to have that fierceness in the back. And Techno, you're the man.
The False Nine Award. Sometimes it's tactical, sometimes it's chaos. This award goes to the player most likely to abandon their position and end up where they shouldn't be, whether it's a CB in striker or a keeper in midfield.
Hey, the False Nine Award is one of those awards, right? I could probably give that award out every single day when we get randoms that just come into the club. Hey, I could play center mid. Hey, I could play fullback. Hey, I could play center half. And next thing you know, you got a third striker out of nowhere, right? That's a no-brainer. But who at this club, right? That's the tough one for me when we talk about discipline and we're constantly focused on being in position. Who could possibly win that award? And there's only one person for me. And Fletch. Man, we won a 4-1-2-1-2, brother, and you're a fullback. And you're overlapping with who? You are awesome. You have improved a lot as well, and I love having you around. But there was no one else I could really give it to. You know, Sear was a possibility because, you know, that dude's all over the place sometimes. You know what I mean? That ADD kicks in. He's like, ooh, I don't know where to go. But, hey, Fletch, man, you overlap with air, right? Like, so when I was a kid, we played this game. If you didn't have enough people and you were trying to play, like, softball or baseball or something like that, you'd put a ghost man on first. You overlapping with the ghost man. There's no one there. There's no one in front of you. Stay back. Stay home. I love you. False Nine.
Iron Man Award. This award is for the player who has been the most reliable/available player this season for CF Capone, someone who might not always get the credit they deserve, but is there every week, grinding and helping the club tick over.
All right, guys, here we go. We're talking about the most reliable award, the one player that shows up no matter what. I got to tell you, this was a surprise for me. When I asked Entity to come out to the club at the beginning of the season, he did. No commitments, obviously, because he had affiliations with other clubs. But, man, from the time that game dropped until the very end, he was there. So, Entity, man, thank you for having my back. You know, as a content creator, one of the worst things that go on in our head is always, man, are they going to show up? Are people going to be there? Like, I don't want to do this alone. It's an 11s team, right? So they do. It doesn't matter how long you've been streaming. It doesn't matter how solid our club is. Those always go through, those apprehensions always go through you. So, you know, Titty, there's something to be said about people that are consistently there. Cookie could have easily got that award, but that was just too easy, right? I mean, this dude has been with this club solid, 5 years, some crazy shit, right? But Titty really surprised me with that, man, and I got to give back and say thank you for that.
Fashionably late award, kickoff at 7. Lobby open at 6:55. This guy logs in at 7:15, claiming their controller wasn't changed. This award goes to our human delay timer.
The fashionably late award, that's an interesting award. Of all the categories, this one was a no-brainer for me. Obviously, RX, you get that title. You're the guy that rolls in after a full days of training going, what's going on, guys? I'd like to play some clubs. And everyone else is like, dude, we're done. I don't know if you've been paying attention, but we're fucking done. And, but, you know, that's just the nature of the beast. It could have been either you or Kaysen. Kaysen's always, you know, hitchhiking back from the red light district. You know what I'm talking about, Kaysen. Sick little bastard. But no, RX, you definitely get this award. This was absolutely a no-brainer.
Most Improved Player. This award is for the player who has made the biggest leap in quality for CF Capone this season. Someone who has not only worked hard on and off the pitch to improve, but is part of the CF Capone DNA.
All right, guys, look, the single award that I love the most is the Most Improved Player. As a gaffer, I take a lot of pride in it because I really respect people that are willing to put in the work on the sticks and try to learn the tactics and try to grow with the team and try to be part of 10 other players on a pitch, and you're the 11th person and you're just integrating yourself and trying to become first sufficient and then a threat, right? And so it's a co-award this year, man. There were two people that stood out for me. First of all, Orpy struggled a lot his first couple of seasons with the club, trying to find his role, and then said, you know what, I'm going to go to the lab. He worked real hard at being a keeper and became a very serviceable keeper for us, to the point where at one time he was the first team keeper here. So you got to give a lot of credit to that, right? This is a guy who struggles with delay and all kinds of other things, and he just wanted to be part of the team, and I love that. I love that about him, and I love the work that he put into it. The second person's Joe. For me, Joe was one of those guys that when he was there, he wasn't at the levels to where I could trust him. He just wasn't. And it was constantly everyone bitching at Joe, bitching at Joe. Joe didn't leave the club. Joe didn't get bullied. Joe became serviceable. Joe worked his ass off. And Joe is the type of player that I love to have, man. People that want to get better, that raise their hand when they fuck up, and make no excuses when they're not up to par. And those are the kind of players I want. Obviously, I want the meta players that could just put it top in so I can talk a lot of shit. But hey, we'll take what we can get.
Rage Quit Hall of Fame. Controllers were broken, mics were muted, and Discord servers went silent. This award honors the player who gives us the most legendary meltdown of the year.
Yo, the Rage Quit award for me is just something completely different because we don't really rage quit in this team. We have before, but not as a norm. So it's one of those things where when I hear rage, right, I use that word, I'll just take that one word out of the award, and I try to think to myself, T-Bone, who rages at CF Capone? Who really rages? And then I think to myself, Cookie. How many times have we been in a game and all of a sudden Cookie just apparently the last 3 or 4 passes weren't right and we didn't know, but we found out real quick. And it's not that he quits, but he'll go from 0 to 100 to 0. You're just left like a shattered soul. So what does that tell you? Keep the fucking ball on the ground and complete a pass, or Cookie's gonna rip your dick off.
Golden Boot. This award is for the player who has not only helped CF Capone achieve significant success on the pitch with their goals in big games, but has also been a key part of CF Capone's success this season.
I love the Golden Boot Award. Why? Because guess what? I don't have to think about it. I don't have to put it to a vote. I don't have to worry about hurting someone else's feelings because, you know what I mean? They didn't get voted out or in or what. It doesn't matter. Bottom line is this. It's a statistical-based category. It's very simple. Kieran, you're a GOAT, man. And I'll tell you what, this is a guy a few years ago, a lot of you guys don't know this. This guy is techie at times, really techie. When he's good at the game, not many people can compete. I honestly believe that. He's a good guy. Gets in his head a lot, lets the game fuck with him a lot, like we all do, right? But he's one of those guys that's always going to be a staple here, always. So I love it. And yeah. Easy enough. Golden Boot, eh? All right, Kieran. I see you.
The Houdini Award. One day they're here, the next they vanish like a magician mid-show. This award goes to the player who made disappearing an art form.
The Houdini Award, man. This award is an irritating one, and I'll tell you why. You know how many times I'm in a rush game, and I see it in my screen. I look to the right and I'm like, T, keep up with the chat. You're an old and you're losing it. They're making fun of you. And then I go look at the chat and it's like, hey, we want to play clubs. And I'm like, all right, we'll play clubs. And then I'm done with Rush and I go into clubs and y'all disappear. You know who does that more than anyone? Guess. Yeah, you've been dapoed again and again and again. Dapo, just raking in the rewards.
Clutch Performer Award. This award is for the player who has performed under pressure and stepped up when the club needed them the most, with last-minute goals, or a last-minute save to win us the game, or a last-ditch tackle that saved us from conceding late goals. This player goes above and beyond to help us get 3 points.
Hey, the Clutch Player Award is an interesting concept, right? Because we always preach composure around here. We always preach making the extra pass and not panicking. If there's one player, though, that encompasses those beliefs more than anyone else, it's probably JJ, probably Zenteki. I mean, he is, without question, one of the most knowledgeable ball players that I know. He's also underappreciated and undervalued at times, even by myself. So this is one of those awards where not only is it one that I'm happy we're giving him, but it's one that he's certainly earned. His composure is sometimes unsurpassed. And, man, I just love JJ. You know how I feel about you. Love you, bro.
The Pass the Ball Award. You know the one. Wide open teammates begging for a pass. But no, this guy thinks he's prime Ronaldo every single touch. Congratulations, you selfish genius.
The Pass the Ball Award is an interesting one for me, right? Because we preach, make the extra pass. But once in a while, you get those players in, or those players that have habits and tendencies to want to go meta or viral with an amazing goal, right? And no doubt about it, the reason the term "you've been dapoed" was created was because he can create moments of magic, certainly. But at times, it will leave a teammate frustrated when they have a wide open tap in that was certainly ignored for the sake of the power shot, 360 tornado shit show that is Dapo. Dapo, I love you, man. I always have, always will. But this award was a no-brainer for me, man. You don't know how many times I've seen Karen on the other side with the wide open tap in just staring at you. And the plethora of excuses you use entertain me on the daily. But I love you. You've been part of this club since day one. For a reason, man. Your DNA is intertwined, and I love you to death, man. But yeah, this award, you earned that shit.
The Capone Meme Lord for the moments in chat, Discord, or streams that had us crying with laughter. This award goes to the undisputed king of banter.
All right, we're talking the meme award, right? We're talking the class clown. We're talking about the guy that brings the morale to the pitch, right? When things are tough and things aren't going our way and Cookie just ripped your dick off, it's like, who do you go to get a smile, to raise those spirits, right? And there can only be one sheepshagger that does that, okay? The sheepshagger of all sheepshaggers, all right? And that is Case and Key. Case and Key, man, a lot of people don't know this. He started with this club years ago. He was at a certain level. He left the club for quite a long time, came back, raised those levels. Like, I'm one of the players, like, no bullshit, very proud of. But he will shag a sheep and tell a bad joke.
Our first award is the Player of the Year. This is the big one. The Crown Jewel. The award for the baller who carried, clutched, and turned CF Capone from a team into a nightmare for the opposition. Our undisputed MVP.
Yo, the Ballon d'Or is one of those awards that's synonymous with greatness, right? Whether it's Messi, Ronaldo, or out of nowhere, Modric has an amazing year and deserves that award. What can't be argued is the people that won it definitely deserved it. Now, were there other people that may have been more deserving of awards in any given year? Possibly. But regardless, it is an award that has quite the distinction and for a reason. So for us personally, we're a non-ego club, man. We're not a club that is a high-flying, techie, stick-fiddling. We're 11 guys that believe in each other and work together. So with that being said, it was kind of easy. We put the vote up to the group. They kind of voted the way I thought it would go anyway. And, the team captain brings it home, the Ballon d'Or for CF Capone for 2025. I guess 24, 25, something like that, whatever. Cookie, GG, bro.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we gather for one of the greatest honors in our community, the celebration of excellence, passion, and legacy. The Hall of Fame is more than just a place for records and trophies. It is where stories live forever, where the sweat, the sacrifice, and the unforgettable moments are remembered long after the games have ended. Tonight, we add 3 new names to this history. Each of them has walked a different path, faced unique challenges, and created memories that inspired teammates, fans, and even rivals. Their journeys remind us why we love this game, the determination to rise, the courage to lead, and the heart to perform when it matters most. By stepping into the Hall of Fame, they become part of something larger than themselves, a legacy that will inspire future generations. Please join me as we honor and welcome our newest legends, Kieran, Poach, and Kason. Tonight, we celebrate Kieran, a player whose journey has been nothing short of legendary. From uncertain beginnings to becoming the cornerstone of every team he touched, Kieran proved that greatness is built not just on raw talent but on resilience, determination, and heart. He was the voice that lifted spirits in tough moments, the competitor who never backed down, and the example of pure passion for the game. Whether it was clutching victory under the brightest lights or leading quietly in the shadows, Kieran defined what legacy truly means. His highlights are etched into memory, but his real impact reaches far beyond the scoreboard. Entering the Hall of Fame, he stands not only as an athlete but as a symbol of growth, belief, and inspiration. For every future player chasing a dream, Kieran's story will remind them that hard work transforms vision into reality. Congratulations, Kieran. Your place among legends is secure.
Talked a lot about the CF Capone Hall of Fame. Obviously, we have 3 people going in this time off of the votes. And so the first person that I want to introduce is Kieran. Everyone knows him. Cookie, I think, realizes how special Kieran is in a lot of ways, because he's the type of player that, he'll go up top and play striker. If he's not feeling it, or if he feels he's letting the team down or whatever, he automatically puts himself back at center half, and honestly is one of the few players that could probably play all 11 positions. Not everyone can. Some people think they can, but they all can't. Kieran certainly can. And when he's out on top of his game, man, he's one of the best I've ever played with. One of the best for sure. I would not hesitate, in the realm of strikers that have been through here. We've had Madges and Coves and Sass, and I put Kieran right up there with them. You know what I mean? So those 4 I mentioned are, along with Dapo, some of the best strikers I've ever played with. So just good stuff. Anyway, Kieran certainly earned, and one thing I would like to stress is, I know you're going to be concentrating on FUT, but I can't wait for you to get in the clubs for this next game, because we're definitely going to need you. We're going to be playing a lot of football this year, boys, but the football that Kieran's already played for this club has warranted his role into the Hall of Fame, and you guys voted him in. No brainer. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I'll have to go back and look at the count, but I believe he was the #1 vote getter. I think everyone voted for him because everyone sees what I see, and that's just greatness.
Kason's journey into the Hall of Fame is a story of perseverance, skill, and unwavering heart. He didn't just play the game, he elevated it, bringing intensity and commitment that set new standards for everyone around him. Known for his ability to adapt, to rise when the moment demanded it most, and to put his team above all else, Kason became a true symbol of excellence. Each match, every performance, and every hard-fought win added another chapter to a career that future generations will study and admire. His leadership was quiet but unshakable, guiding teammates through triumph and adversity alike. More than a player, Kason grew into a mentor, a role model, and a force of nature whose impact will outlast his time on the field. Tonight, as we welcome him into the Hall of Fame, we celebrate not just victories, but the person who made them possible. Kason, this moment is yours forever.
So your second addition into the Hall of Fame is a guy that, obviously, you heard earlier, he brings a lot of vibes to the club, but he also does so many things. This guy has played wide mid for us, played center half for us, played keeper for us, played striker for us. Whatever we ask him to do, he'll do, even if it's begrudgingly, but he's always been a professional. He's always brought the vibes. He's always tried to change the tone of the club to where they were more positive, and for that, I thank him. A lot of times we get in our own heads. Streamers won't tell you this, man, but we're all trying to figure it out on any given moment, whether it's the actual content side of it, or the gameplay or trying to figure it out with the club or whatever. But what Kaysen does is allows me personally to just calm myself and not have to worry about keeping the vibes up, keeping the morale up, because he brings it, man. He really does. His energy, his youthful enthusiasm, and his ability to shag a sheep. But
few names carry the weight, respect, and legacy that Poach does. From his earliest matches, it was clear he was a fearless competitor, unshakable under pressure, and relentless in pursuit of victory. Poach defined what it means to shine when the stakes are highest, turning nerve-wracking moments into unforgettable triumphs. Teammates recall countless times he carried them forward, while opponents dreaded facing him. Beyond highlights and trophies, Poach's greatest gift was his ability to inspire. He demanded the best, not from arrogance, but from a belief that greatness lived inside everyone willing to give everything. Today, we honor not just a career, but a legacy built on grit, fire, and leadership. Poach enters the Hall of Fame as more than an athlete. He is a symbol of courage under fire, a reminder that true legends are made when the clock runs out and pressure is at its peak. Congratulations, Poach, your name echoes in history.
wow, so the last person into the Hall of Fame, I'm going to try not to get too emotional. I'm going to try not to, but this little silver spoon motherfucker, no, I'll tell you this, man. Poach, kinetic Poach, the Poach, poached egg, whatever you want to call him. I can honestly say the best keeper to ever don the Sea of Capone kit. The best. And that's going up against stout competition. A lot of you've never seen Sass at his best. He was a fucking phenomenal keeper. Poach, though, man, there's something special about that kid's gloves. He's always got a spot here. He knows that. I've even offered him a spot for next season. No pressure. Still waiting on a return fucking DM, as usual. But that's all right, Poach. You got us. You got us the damn Excel spreadsheet. And that's all that matters to me. Look, man, Poach, you're a good person, man. You're a good person. You're a good kid. You're good for the community, but you're just a hell of a fucking player, man. I'd love to always have you here. So if, I know Kobe's going to try to use you, but if he can't use you, you've always got a home here, kid. You know that. So in all seriousness, though, all of these Hall of Fame people, Kaysen, Kieran, and now Poach, deserved, man. Deserved. And all voted in by your peers, so nothing can be taken away from that. You know what I mean? Congratulations. You guys earned this, and I'm so fucking proud of y'all.
And just like that, our night of glitz, glamour, and a touch of chaos comes to a close. We've celebrated excellence, applauded creativity, and, yes, handed out trophies that will soon find their rightful place on bookshelves, mantels, and maybe even in the occasional office Zoom background. But beyond the awards themselves, tonight was about something bigger, honoring the stories, the hard work, the laughs, and the unforgettable moments that connect us all. Every nominee and winner has shown us that passion and dedication can take many forms, from the groundbreaking to the downright hilarious, and all are equally worth celebrating. So as the lights fade and the after-party begins, remember this: every cheer, every smile, every shared moment tonight is what makes this event truly special. Thank you to our incredible nominees, our audience, and everyone behind the scenes who made this possible. Until next time, congratulations, thank you, and good night.